Thought experiment number 1. Senses. Let's look at these two shapes. If I would have asked you what colors you see, 99% of you would answer that they see red on the right and blue on the left, while the additional 1% are those who have some kind of sight defect that prevents them from distinguishing between these two colors. Now, let's assume I have a genetic disorder that causes me to see as blue what you see as red, and to see as red what you see as blue. Can this disorder be ever revealed? Is this a disorder at all? Is this possible that we all see different from each other? When we were children, our parents taught us the colors, and the verbal-visual connection was created in our brains between words and colors. But how can we be sure that we see the same colors as our parents do? And how can we be sure that they see the same colors as their parents do? What prevents our brain from creating a verbal-visual connection between the word red, for example, and different colors? Let me tell you a secret. Colors do not exist. There is no such thing as color. Color is just a name given to the illusion formed by our brains as a result of the sight process, and it's only an acceptation created in order to enable people to verbally describe objects that have a similar physical trait that perceives in our brains as color. In order to understand that, first of all we have to understand how the sight process works. The visible light is an electromagnetic radiation that spreads in the open space, just like ultraviolet, infrared, heat, Röntgen, radio, microwave, cellular, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, etc. The only thing that distinguishes one radiation from another is the wavelength, and the only thing that distinguishes the visible light from all other radiations is the fact that the visible light is located in the wavelength range that the human eye and most organisms can see. The visible light range is very narrow and moves roughly between 400 to 800 nanometers. When an object is lighted, an infinite number of light beams hit it. Some of them get absorbed by the object, and the others get reflected. Some of those that get reflected go straight into our eyes. There, they are received by the reticulum that converts them into electrical current, according to the wavelength. The electrical current is transferred to the brain, which generates the visual perception and the color sensation. Different physical traits of substances make them reflect the light beams in different wavelengths, and these differences in the wavelengths cause us different color sensation, or in simple words, to see different colors. So, if there isn't such thing as color, and color is just an illusion made by our brain, is this even possible to prove that we all see the same colors? Maybe we can see the same colors but do not see the same color for a specific wavelength. Maybe some of us can see colors that others can't and vice versa. And maybe each one of us can see colors that are exclusive for him and that no one else can see besides him. Which colors would we see if the human eye could see electromagnetic radiation in wavelengths outside the visible light range? What new colors would be created in our brains for microwave or radio radiation that get reflected from an object? You probably refer to these ideas as essentially refuted, but this is only because you are used to thinking in a specific way. The idea I introduced to you today is just one representative sample to question our perception of the environment by senses, and it raises even bigger questions that make us wonder to what extent we take the reality for granted. I will now introduce my 3 big questions to you. 1. Is this possible that for a specific wavelength, one will get a completely different color sensation from the other? 2. What about all other senses? Is this possible that a specific stimulation will cause different sensations? 3. Is this possible that there are more phenomena in nature that we just cannot perceive with our senses? The natural answer for these 3 questions is no. But if I'd say yes, can you prove me wrong? I'd love to read your comments. Thanks for your time, The Reality Doubter.